Hey folks, Matt from Art of the Image. Exciting day here at Art of the Image because I have to tell you about the G7, the Panasonic G7, the new little brother, if you will, to the GH4. I've had it here for 2 or 3 weeks now. It's been a busy summer, so I haven't had a lot of chance to do shooting and do videos for you guys, but I wanted to give you my initial impressions. Now, I don't have the boxes here with me because I've already had it out and I've been shooting with it and whatnot, but it's the G7. For those of you that aren't familiar, like I said, it's like the little brother to the GH4. It does 4K UHD video at 100 Mbps. It has a 4K photo mode with a pre-burst mode, which basically means it starts shooting or recording a little bit before you even hit the shutter, which is pretty cool. So you're able to extract pretty high resolution stills, 4K stills, which is, almost 4,000 wide on the as far as pixels go on the long end from your video. So it's a whole new way of capturing images. If you're shooting your toddler or a sporting event or whatever, and they're moving quickly, you can get stuff you might not have got from the conventional way of just shooting photography images. It's a 16 megapixel sensor, micro four thirds, very similar to the GX7 or the GH4, and it basically does pretty much everything the GH4 does, with a few little variations here and there that, to me, when I went through the specs, I didn't even bother me. The big thing for me, and which was a big point in why I sold my LX100 to go to the G7, is I really missed the fully articulated screen here, and this is a full touchscreen, full tap and shoot. It's just beautiful. As you could probably see, it's a little bit bigger lens on here. The kit I bought is the 14 to 140. I was getting to think that out because what that translates to in 35 millimeters is 28 to 280. So it's quite a nice long zoom. I think it's 10 times zoom is what it is. People might be saying, well, weren't you worried about getting an ultra zoom like that? And actually, this performs really well. If you read the reviews, it performs really well. It has excellent micro contrast, and it's just a great all-round zoom to have. So I spent a little bit of extra to get this instead of some of the other combinations. I also got a prime, which we'll discuss in a little bit in another video. But so far, I've been very impressed, and this 14 to 140 is performing as described in any of the tests and things that I've seen. I'm very happy with it, and I'm very pleased I got it. It is I think it's a 3.5 to 5.6. Yeah, 3.5 to 5.6. So you're not really losing any speed over the other kit zooms. You're just gaining that extra reach. And from what I've seen, it's still plenty sharp, probably even comparable to some of the smaller zooms of the kit lenses. I'm not noticing any problems or loss of image quality there. Overall, the camera is, like I said, a little GH4. Build quality is excellent. I love the articulating screen. Can't get enough of that. It's got a superior EVF in it, one of the best in the business. Wouldn't hesitate to recommend it for the EVF. It's absolutely fantastic. It has built-in Wi-Fi for image transfer and control. I'm using my iPad over here to control the GX7 right now, and you can do that with the G7 as well. Fit and finish on here is excellent. Another advantage of this 14 to 140 millimeter lens, which you can get as a kit like I did, is I think the fit and finish on this lens is quite a few steps above the basic kit lens, which is what, the 14 to 45 or something like that. Very nice quality, very nice, has a really nice smooth feel to the zoom ring, as well as very nice smooth feel to the focus ring if you're using it in manual focus. Overall, very nicely built camera, performs really well. It takes quite a small battery, but I'm getting good life out of it. This is not the same battery that's in the GX7. This is the BLC12PP, and so it's overall so far been a great camera. I'm really impressed with the image quality. The 4K video out of here is killer. Pretty much exactly what you're going to get out of the GH4. So if you've seen 4K from the GH4, the G7 does the same thing. So my initial impressions are extremely favorable. I'm really liking the 14 to 140 lens. I don't have any negatives to tell you about so far. Really love being back into a camera that has the two command, or I shouldn't say command dials, the two dials, the front and rear dials, so you can control your aperture with the one and your shutter speed with the other. And I miss that when I don't have that on a camera. Great camera so far. If you have any questions, leave them below in the comments. I'll try to get them answered for you. I'll be doing some upcoming videos, ongoing review of the G7, showing you some images we've shot. Pretty much all the video going forward will be from the G7, so you'll be able to see the 4K video coming out of the G7. And basically, this is shot with the GX7. You'll notice it's not in 4K, and that's simply because I had to shoot it with something other than the G7, which is my only 4K camera at the moment. Just a quick note, let me grab the T6i with the kit lens here and just give you a show you what the two of them look like side by side. So you could see that the body on the G7 is pretty small in comparison. I mean, the T6i is pretty small anyways, but the G7's smaller. And the G7, this 14-140 lens is a fair bit smaller. It's got the hood on there too. If you look at it, the lens is a fair bit smaller than the 18-55 that is on the T6i. And this continues the advantage of size and weight with the Micro Four Thirds system. What you might want to note as well is that if you had taken a comparable lens, so say this is a 28-280 in 35mm terms. If you had that similar lens on here on the T6i, it'd be much bigger. So you'd be an overall much bigger package. So overall, this is, you know, big deciding factors why you would want to go Micro Four Thirds is size and weight. I mean, you get 4K out of the G7. Very few cameras can do that in camera right now at this point in time, but you also get size and weight, and it's just fantastic. Let me know if you have any comments or questions, and post them in the comments below. We'll be back soon with more on the G7. Thanks, folks.